You are watching SCAC Football Media Days. Joining us from Seguin, Texas, it's the Texas Lutheran football team. Head coach Danny Padron, senior quarterback Brent Peavy, and senior linebacker Brad Snowden. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
It's good to be here.
And we'll first start off, I'd actually like to get everybody's thoughts on this. You know, you guys are coming into a new conference this year. It's your first year in the Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference. Just tell us your excitement to get started here in a new conference and compete for a championship.
Well, any situation you have to compete for a conference championship is exciting, and being a new conference for us. And of course, we're familiar with the teams that we're going to be playing, and so that's exciting. We believe that it's going to be a great conference, and so we're looking forward to the competition.
I definitely like the fact that we're coming to this conference and just being a part of the conference and being able to contribute to the competition that we're about to do and compete against is pretty important.
Like Brent said, there's a lot of competition in this new conference, and it's kind of a different change of scenery, just seeing the SCAC instead of the ASC, but most of it's just the same for all of us.
Coach Padron, I'll go to you and simply ask, what are your expectations as you go into 2013?
Well, we always have great expectations, and we're very optimistic about our progress that we've made. And I know the coaches are excited. I know our players are excited. We expect great things. We're looking to have a breakthrough year this year, and playing for a conference championship. That's what we have in mind. We're trying to make the playoffs for the first time since forever, and so we're looking forward to it.
Brent and Bradley, I go to both of you. You were both named preseason All-Americans this year. Both are expecting big things as you go into your senior years. Just kind of tell us how you handle those expectations and how you handle that on a day-to-day basis.
It's a real great honor just to be named to that kind of list. As far as like what we really like to do, we just want to help the team win. Like I said, it's a real great honor, but getting wins for the team is the most important thing to us.
I'm definitely going to have to agree with Brad on that. I think it's just a true blessing just to have that recognition, but to just have that, the team really helped us with all that. We can't do it all on our own, and it's really important that we have the team surrounding us and we can make the team better and the team makes us better.
Coach Padron, just tell me what you've seen so far during preseason. You guys will get going next Saturday. I know you have a scrimmage coming up this weekend. But what have you seen so far in the preseason that has pleased you?
Well, we're a lot more athletic, and that's good. Our team speed is up. I think we'll be a lot better on defense than we were last year. I think that's going to be important to us. Offensively, we got most everybody coming back, and we were 13th in the nation total offense and 13th nation in the pass offense. So we expect great things from our offense as well. So things are progressing. We're having to fight through injuries like anybody else does in fall camp, but the expectations are high, and you're very optimistic, and so we see great things on the future for the Bulldogs.
Brent and Bradley, just tell us a little bit about some of the team goals you're hoping to accomplish, not only just as a team, but maybe on your side of the ball, on the offense and defensive side of the ball. What are some of those goals you guys are hoping to come through with this season?
I definitely want to say that for offensive side of the ball, we just want to take each play by play. We don't want to rush it. And as a team goal, we definitely just want to take a game by game and not rush anything and just make sure that we're always focused on the task at hand, which is to win the conference championship. And we can only do that by just going game by game. So we definitely don't want to rush.
Like Brent said, on the team goals, we all had that in mind. As far as the defensive side of the ball, it's almost just like the offensive. We wanted to take each game like as itself and not look past any games or anything like that. We also just want to be flying around to the football, make sure we're all getting there on the pile and everything like that.
We talk about two goals really, and that's win the turnover margin, and we did that the year before in the ASC, and last year we were down. We just kind of evened out, and of course explosive plays. Those are two things that we try to concentrate on and help us win.
And Coach Padron, let's focus on the offensive side of the ball here, and just as you've gone through preseason, I know the man to your left will be one guy that you will point out, but tell me about some individuals that have stood out to you so far this preseason.
Well, I think our strength of our team and on offense, particularly, is our receivers. We've got about 6 or 7 that are interchangeable. Brent's twin brother Cameron led our team last year in receptions and is always a threat. And he can catch any type of ball over the middle, go deep, and he's definitely a threat. Then we've got Lewis Williams, who was our lead receiver 2 years ago, is on the outside. And he can play the inside as well. And he's a deep threat as well. Does a great job of getting off press coverage and beating them deep. Then we've got Tyler Figgle, who was injured last year, an inside receiver, as well as Cameron. And we think he's going to be, a real big threat for us. And then, of course, Dustin Hannon had a great year last year, and he's the other one that's starting for us. And then we've got able backups. Our running back, Dominic Hardaway, has been here for 3 years and, kind of fighting through a hamstring right now, but he's going to give us a great running threat. And so offensively, we had to replace 2 offensive linemen. We had an injury to 1, and now we've got to replace 3 offensive linemen. But we think we've got the guys there, and we've got good freshman backups providing us that. So we're excited about our offense as well as our defense. Now, our defense has been a work in progress, but I think we're more athletic than we've ever been. And I think it's going to be exciting to see us run to the ball and make things happen as far as turnovers, to create turnovers.
Brent, I'll turn to you. Staying on the offensive side of the ball, first of all, I want to know what you've seen so far from your team offensively that's pleased you. What's impressed you so far about this team? And then I also want to know, how important is it to you to emerge as a leader among the offensive group for this team to be successful in 2013?
Well, definitely what I'm seeing from the offense is hard work. I'm seeing a lot more focus. Everybody's taking their job and their responsibility to the best of their ability, and they're taking it head on. I know as far as offense, we always stress just making positive plays, and we never want to backtrack, so that's pretty important.
Coach, I'll turn back to you, and let's switch sides and go to the defensive side of the ball. Just tell me some individuals that have stood out to you so far this preseason.
Well, I left out Brent, the obvious one on offense. And so we started offense with Brent. So I started thinking about it. Of course, I'm taking him for granted right here. But Brent, I'll talk about offense first. And Brent is a tremendous threat for us. And he not only has the strong arm and an accurate arm, but he's very elusive as a runner. And he creates plays for us and makes plays. And so we don't want to forget him. And then we got a good backup in Trent White. Trent is going to be a great quarterback as well. So we're excited about our quarterbacks as well too. Defensively, we're led by Brad Snowden. Now, he's been with us now, 3-year starter. There's probably not enough superlatives to describe Brad. He's probably the hardest working guy on our football team, although Brent pushes him now. But Brad's been that way for all 3 years. He's a guy that's physical and intelligent. He's got the highest GPA on our team. He's one of those guys that, if you had a daughter, you want to be in line for both these guys right here. I'm not trying to. They probably got girlfriends already, but I think these are the 2 guys I'd try to marry off, and if I had daughters. But we got Brian Doolittle and Ethan Powell at defensive ends. They've been playing a bunch, and I think Ethan led the team in sacks last year. We've got in the secondary Drake Down and Ty Johnson. Both those guys are sophomore safeties that are just really good football players. We'll be young in corners. We've got some guys competing there right now. And linebackers, besides Brad, we've got a bunch of will linebackers. Reese Van Buren and Zach Sowers are really competing hard for that will linebacker. And so at Sam, we moved one of our secondary guys into Sam, Adam McGuire, and we got Matt Teague. Both of those guys will be competing at Sam. So we'll be a lot more athletic. We expect a lot more turnovers, and hopefully we can lead our conference in the turnover margin again like we've done, because we do emphasize it.
You're watching SCAC Football Media Days here with the Texas Lutheran football team. Brad, I'll go to you as we stay on the topic of defense. So far this preseason, just tell me what you've seen, which has been impressive as one of the team leaders. And also, just tell me, for Texas Lutheran to accomplish the goals they want to accomplish, how important is it to emerge as a leader?
Like Coach Padron said, we're a lot more athletic on defense than I've ever seen since I've been here. Another thing that I've noticed is that we're all really getting to know each other like on a personal level. And when that happens, we really notice the things on the field when we come together off the field. So I've noticed that we're really learning to trust each other and know that we'll each have our own responsibility during that team play. And for me to emerge as a leader, that's just having kind of like the team goals. Everything kind of goes back to the team. Anything that I can do for the team or somebody else can do for the team to help the team would be great.
James, let me interject about these two guys,
Sure.
leaders. It's the examples that he set. They're not only the hardest working guys on the field, but off the field as well. And really our players look up to them. And so they're leading by example. And I think we couldn't get to finer young men to be our leaders.
And Coach Padron, the other thing I would like to know about, I know you guys brought in quite a few newcomers this season. Just as a whole, what have the newcomers been able to do that impresses you?
Well, secondary-wise, we talked about those guys. They're able to run. They're aggressive. We're really playing some good technique, and it's kind of surprising. On the offensive side, we've got a lot of big offensive linemen, the biggest we've ever had. And so they're really pushing for start positions and pushing for backup positions. So we're excited about these freshmen. Good recruits.
Gentlemen, we'll get you out on this final question. I would love to hear from all three of you. For Texas Lutheran to be successful in 2013, what are going to be some of the keys?
Well, I think, like we talked about, we've got to control turnovers and we've got to create turnovers. And then we've got to make big plays. I think Brent had talked about that. We think that our kicking game, we lost to All-American kicker and Alan Kane and our punter, all-conference punter, and Dylan Cope. We got Tyler Brandenburg, and he kicked on our JV last year and punted, and he'll do the same this year. So we've got to play great special teams, and we've got to be smart on defense, and create turnovers, like we said, make tackles, and as Brent said earlier, we just got to make first downs, and then those turn into big plays. And so control the football, take care of the football, play great special teams. I guess that's typical coach talk, right, James?
Absolutely, Coach.
As far as being successful, I think our team definitely has to just take each game by game, and we can't rush anything. Like I said before, it's definitely important that we all stick together, and just to have that success is going to take everybody. It's not just myself or Brad. It's the whole team as a whole, because we're all together as one. And just to have each other and have each other's back, this is really going to push it. And as far as offense goes, like I said, we just have to take each play by play. We have to make sure we're moving the ball, make sure it's positive yards, and we don't want any sacks. And I know our offensive line is really, really good this year, and everybody's focused. So I feel like I have the protection, I have the receivers, and we can just all make it work.
And like kind of what they said, it's just working for the guy next to you. It's all a team game, and we can control what we can control, and then everything like that, we just have to leave it up to the team and hard work.
You have been watching SCAC Football Media Days here with the Texas Lutheran Bulldogs football team. Coach Padron, Brent, Brad, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck to you in 2013. And again, welcome to the SCAC. We're glad to have you.
Right. It's great to be here, James. Thank you.
The Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference, a conference of good sports.